Now, there are around 3.5 million Arab American voters in the United States, but all eyes are on the some 200,000 of them in the key swing state of Michigan. To talk a little bit about that community, how they might vote in this election, James Andre is with me in the studio now. And James, it's important to say, first of all, that both Harris and Trump have really been trying to woo this community.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason for that is that there are 15 electoral college votes at stake, which of course is very important. They are pretty much required by both candidates if we want to make it to the famous 270 electoral college voters magic number. Now, 200,000 Arab American voters in Michigan are potentially the kingmakers in this state, simply because if you look at the previous figures, Biden won Michigan in 2020 by 150,000 votes, and Trump won in 2016 with 11,000 votes. So given what the polls are looking like for the moment, it's obviously very difficult to call, and it might be very close. We'll have to see what happens. In any case, the Arab American community has been consistently Democrat for the past 20 years. But this time it might be a bit different simply because they are very frustrated and angry at Joe Biden's policies in the Middle East regarding the war with Gaza that's now extended to Lebanon. And indeed, these communities have been very much bulking what the current administration has been doing. Got to remember that during the primaries, 110,000 members of this Arab American community chose not to vote for Joe Biden, but to put uncommitted ballots in the boxes in order to show their distrust in the administration. So yes, Kamala Harris has been conducting meetings in the state of Michigan, clearly in Dearborn, which is very much the only Arab American majority city in the United States, in order to try and convince them to vote for her, saying that she is less, in a sense, less pro-Israeli than Joe Biden is, that she is willing to shift that policy, that she wants a ceasefire, but also saying she wants a return of the hostages and security for Israel, but also stressing that she wants independent states for the Palestinians. For Donald Trump, of course, it's even more difficult, given that he is seen as very much pro-Israeli, and also that he enforced a Muslim ban back in 2016, as you remember, and that he's actually saying that he would expand on that in 2024.
Yeah, see, that's what's really interesting about this, James, is, you know, we do hear from these Arab American voters in Michigan saying we don't want to vote for Harris because of the Biden administration's record on the war in Gaza. But as you say, Donald Trump, a strong supporter of Israel, a strong supporter of Netanyahu. So are Arab American voters there really likely to vote for Trump, or will they instead abstain and stay at home?
Well, it does appear a lot of them are thinking of very seriously voting for Trump. Now, there has been a push by Trump, who has dispatched Massad Boulos, who is the father of his son-in-law, Michael Boulos, who married Tiffany Trump in 2021. Actually, Donald Trump said that he was very happy to have a half Lebanese grandson coming. So that was the message that he put through. And then there's also Richard Grenell, who is a potential Secretary of State, or at least that's what he'd like to become, and he was Trump's ex-ambassador to Germany. These two men have been going across the Arab American cities in Michigan and trying to convince the community, pitching this vision of a Trump who has changed and who is a peacemaker in the Middle East. And funnily enough, this has actually been working. If you look at the polls now, Arab News and YouGov have conducted a poll with 500 Arab American voters. And what comes out of that poll is that 45% will say they will vote for Trump and 43% for Harris, despite the fact that the same group of people say, 69% of them say that they view Trump as more pro-Israeli, that also a vast majority of them consider that he would probably enforce more racist policies against Arab Americans. But what they also see is that they consider that Harris has been in power for the past 4 years, that this war has been going on for a year, and that the Biden-Harris administration has done nothing to stop it. So they feel that if she is elected, it would simply be more of the same. And what they're hoping is that indeed Donald Trump might indeed take some radical action to stop the war. He has said he would try and stop this war within a very short span of time if he is elected. And what they see is that, of course, yes, he is seen as very pro-Israeli, but potentially a game changer in the region. And also, well, it is rather a conservative community that also looks at the rest of his policies. So counterintuitively, indeed, it appears that Arab American Muslims, according to this poll anyway, might vote for Donald Trump in large numbers.
All right, well, we'll see whether that poll pans out when we do get the results from Michigan. Thank you very much indeed, James Andre, for us there.